So in chapter 8, we were to discuss the strategic management. So basically, what strategic management is, it's sort of like the process for like managers and management, the choices that they make and strategies for the organization to sort of enable it more and achieve like a better performance, to make it fit in its environment better, sort of like adapt to it, and sort of a way to separate yourself from the competition. There are 3 levels of strategy. You have your corporate level strategy, your business level strategy, and your functional level strategy. So the corporate level sort of looks at the organization as a whole, and it's like a combination of business units and product lines that make up the corporate entity. Next, you have your business level strategy, which again sort of pertains to each business unit and product line. And then finally, the functional level strategy sort of pertains to the major functional departments within each business unit. So basically, this is very important because you sort of need to have those proper strategies in place for your organization to achieve more success. If you're able to have a plan and a goal, but you don't have a strategy, you're not going to be able to have as much success as you would if you had a strategy. So sort of like, how you're going to set yourself apart, that sort of thing. Next, you have the strategic management process. So basically, what you're with this sort of like a brief overview is like evaluating where your organization is right now. So your mission, your goals, your strategies, you're going to evaluate it. You're going to take that into the SWOT analysis and look at all the departments for the SWOT analysis pertaining to the current situation of your organization. After looking at all those, what you're going to do is you're going to sort of define a new mission, a new set of goals, new grand strategy to put your business, take your business to another level, or even in, maybe a different direction or something like that. Then you're going to formulate your strategy through your different levels. Like I said before, your corporate, your business, your functional. And then from there, what you are going to do is have your executive strategy. Basically, your leadership, your culture, you're going to define that structure, communication systems and stuff like that. So that's like a brief sort of overview of the strategic management process. Be able to find your strategies, evaluate where you are, define your everything within the SWOT analysis, and then sort of come up with a bunch of strategies to formulate your new mission goals that you created based off of your SWOT analysis. So that leads me into the next section, which is what is the SWOT analysis. So it's basically your strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. For a business, this is important because for strengths, for example, you want to identify your strengths and then use those to your advantage. To me, I think if you're not going to use your strengths to your advantage, then you're really behind the 8 ball. So basically, how you're gonna like set, that's like how you're setting yourself like apart, and then you want to keep like maintaining sort of your strengths so you don't lose any of that, because it can like bring you a competitive advantage. Next, your weaknesses. These are the things that you need to work on, sort of things that maybe other companies have an advantage in, something that you need to take note of, so that way, if anything happens in the future, you can try and minimize those weaknesses and come up with a strategy to strengthen those weaknesses. Then you have your opportunities, maybe something new in the environment or new in the that sort of market is starting to come. If you can identify that early enough, you can use that to your advantage and sort of jump on it, and eventually that can turn into a competitive advantage if you do it properly. If you miss out on those opportunities, you might be regretting it. Then you have your threats, which these are things that you have to take note of, because they can potentially like harm your company or force you to spend more money. For example, like a threat could be like a competitor in your market. A threat could be like maybe like a new law which prevents you from emitting so much carbon dioxide into the air. That's like a threat, because like you're gonna have to change some of your strategies about it, and it's used in the strategic management process, because you can use all that to evaluate sort of your situation and come up with a strategy. That's where your strategies are formulated from. If you don't think of your proper SWOT analysis, you can't come up with an effective strategy to propel your business. So what are the 3 primary competitive strategies? There are 3, and there are differentiation strategy, which this is basically distinguishing your products and services. So basically, what makes your product different than other competition. This can be maybe yours is cheaper, so it allows more people to buy it. That could be a strategy, just like a very broad strategy, I guess, simple. But you can use that, and when you want to sort of get into like something new, so you like settle your company in, and then slowly you can bring your price up. But that's for sort of differentiating your product to get it known, I guess. Then you have your cost leadership strategy. This is aggressively seek efficient facilities, cost reduction, and cost control. So this is where you're constantly trying your best to just minimize the amount of money that you're going to spend. This can be used when, maybe the example that always comes to my mind is like new laws come into place with like climate change and stuff like that. So like you're gonna have to come up with a strategy to be able to save money while still meeting those needs required by the government, those laws. The last one is a focus strategy, concentration on a specific region or buyer. So this is like identifying, goes with identifying your market. Maybe for something like this product is really popular in a different country, so you're going to like focus a lot of your effort on that country to try and maximize most of your profits, because maybe most of your profits and sales are going to come from that country rather than this country. So it would be a waste of time to just focus 100% on this one when you can do something like that. That's why you have to do a lot of these SWOT analysis things to come up with a strategy. And some of the factors that lead to these strategies failing: employee resistance. This is, maybe your employees aren't fully 100% behind it. or they think it's dumb or something like that. Then you have management behavior doesn't support the new decision. This is big because you need your managers to lead and sort of pave a path for your employees, and if they're not behind it, your employees aren't going to follow. Then you have inadequate budget or resources. This one's big because maybe there's an opportunity out there for one of your strategies, yet you don't have the money or the time or stuff like that, your budget, whatever, to be able to do that. And then there's like other barriers. So that's everything for chapter 8.